Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you. This is Ashwin Ramani, your research analyst at SBI Securities. I hope I'm audible and I hope you all are able to see my screen. If you all can give me a heads up in the chat box. अगर मेरी आवाज सुनाई दे रही है, स्क्रीन दिखाई दे रहा है तो आप मुझे एक बार चैट बॉक्स में कमेंट करके बता सकते हो, so that I know you all are with me live in the session. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes because I see that people are joining in. And once you are live, do let me know. And probably we'll start in another minute or so. Great. Murthy ji is saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well, Murthy ji. I hope your weekend was great. We'll just wait for a couple of more minutes and then let's start with today's session. And in case if you have just joined, do let me know if my voice is audible and if my screen is visible. If yes, we can then start with the session today. Ranjit ji saying good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well, Ranjit ji. Okay, great. So let us start off with the mid-market session today. So talking about the update on the global markets first. Okay, voice seems to be a bit low. Okay, is it fine now? Rakesh ji, do let me know if my voice is proper. Vinay ji, good afternoon. Audio video is good. Okay, great. So let's start with an update on the global markets. So the US markets had a positive outing on Friday. Dow Jones closed 0.61% higher. S&P 500 closed around 0.54% higher, while the Nasdaq closed around 0.65% higher. So if you look at the Dow futures, so Dow futures is down 0.5%. So we can expect a slight flat to negative start to the US markets today. If you look at the European markets, even European markets had a positive close last Friday, with Germany up around 0.29%. London was up 0.27%, and France was up 0.29%. And if you look at the Eurostox index, so Eurostox index was down 0.4%. If we look at the Asian market, so Nikkei is the worst performing Asian market, that is down roughly around 1.89%. Whereas if you look at Hang Seng is up 0.52%, Shanghai is up 0.56%, whereas South Korea is down 0.16%. Our markets are, our markets couldn't sustain at the high levels. And there is definitely some profit booking that we are seeing both in Nifty as well as Sensex. Nifty is down around 0.16%, while Sensex is down around 0.10%. If we look at how the major global indices have performed in the last 1 month or so, so in the last 1 month, Nifty has done relatively well compared to the other markets. Though we are roughly around 1% higher, it's 0.9%. If we see Kospi has seen some profit booking. They are down around 3.5%. Nasdaq was down around 2% in the last 1 month. Nikkei is down around 2%. Shanghai is down around 2% here. So we could see the flows that were moving to the other Asian markets. There is some profit booking there, and there is some rerouting of that money towards maybe some pockets of our stocks in Indian markets. Whereas if you look at Dow Jones was also relatively flat in the last 1 month. So I feel some part of the money from the other Asian markets might have been rerouted to our markets, leading to Nifty hitting an all-time high, which was again the rally was majorly driven by selective heavyweights, and we are yet to see broad-based participation. If you look at small cap has largely underperformed. A lot of small cap names are still trading below their highs, and even some pockets of mid caps have performed. It's only the selective large cap names that have done well in the recent rally. If we look at the macro indicators, so dollar index again, it's below the 100 levels, which is a good sign. I think our markets can feel the pinch once 100.5 level is taken out on the upside. Whereas if it falls below 98.8, 98.5, again, that's a good sign for us. But again, the highlight of the day, or I would say the most trending news of the day is so rupee has hit an fresh high. We hit an high of 89.79. So again, like we've been discussing, stronger dollar against the rupee is not a good sign for us, and that is one of the reasons why our markets weren't able to sustain at the higher levels, and we could see the gap getting filled in today's trade. So again, I think we are inching towards the 90 mark. I think any move higher in the dollar, I think that is definitely going to keep the pressure on our markets. And this comes for the fact that so on Friday we had the GDP numbers coming in. So GDP, the real GDP has come in at around 8.2%. So that is fastest, amongst the major emerging markets as well as the one that we have seen globally. But if you look at the nominal GDP, that has relatively has come nearly about the estimates here. So there is a difference between real GDP. So real GDP measures the output in terms of volume, whereas nominal GDP it measures the output in terms of price. So though there was more output, so there was more volume, but the nominal GDP hasn't increased. So it's like you are producing more, but your price hasn't gone up. So you are nearly making the same price for the more volumes that were being sold here. So again, that clearly puts a strain. So that makes us wonder if our corporates are really making profits. I think that is the reason why you have to look at GDP beneath the headline numbers. So always it's the nominal GDP that matters. That has, I think, roughly come around 7.2%, if I'm not wrong. But again, so that means our volume has increased, our output has increased, but the price hasn't increased that much. It's like you are producing more for the same price, and that is the reason why the markets haven't really cheered the GDP numbers today. And usually what happens in such cases is that when you see numbers like 8.2% GDP growth, so RBI also can get little cautious here. They might think, if our economy is really growing, if our economy is really booming, what is the need for a rate cut? Because they have to justify the rate cuts as well. So if the economy is doing that great, there is no possibility for a rate cut by an RBI. So RBI might not go for a rate cuts. And what that has happened is that has kind of led to our yields also going up. I think if we look at IN 10Y government bond yields, I think that has gone to 6.562%. So you could see the jump from almost 6.48 to 6.56. So I think the markets was factoring in a rate cut by RBI, but again, considering the fact that the real GDP numbers has come in at 8.2%, chances are that RBI might keep the rates steady and might not go for a rate cuts, and that has kind of led to the yields also moving higher. And yields moving higher, that also means that our equity could be under pressure, because obviously people would prefer safer assets like bonds rather than staying invested in equities. So again, you have to look at the nominal GDP numbers, not the real GDP numbers. And even if you look at the tax collections, the net direct tax collections has grown in at roughly around 7%, while the GDP has grown at 8%. That is lower than the GDP growth. So obviously we'll have to wait for one more quarter where the GST cuts that was announced, उसका पूरा impact शायद हमें Q3 पे ही पता चलेगा. But अब तक हमें वो impact दिखा नहीं है. So I think we'll have to wait for one more quarter. We'll have to wait and see if the corporate earnings improve. Because the prices of companies are only going to go up, not based on the GDP growth or the output here. I think ultimately is the earnings that matter. And right now the corporate profits are low. The GDP numbers are kind of masking the real story there. And that is the reason why the market has shown less excitement today. Ideally, market should have kind of sustained at the higher levels. But the fact that we have filled the gap shows that, not everything is that great in the markets right now, despite us hitting the all-time highs. If we look at the crude oil prices, so again, crude oil prices also have seen a bounce from the lower levels, that is around $60 to $61 a barrel. So we'll have Mr. Vladimir Putin, I think, who's scheduled for a visit to India on December 5 and December 6. So I'm sure there is going to be some announcements happening. So we'll have to wait and watch. We'll have to wait and see what India does with the Russian oil imports. Are we going to stop buying oil, or are we continue to buy oil from Russia? I think that is something that will be clear once both the leaders meet on December 5 and 6. If you look at the India VIX, so India VIX is under control. So nothing much has changed in terms of volatility. I think as long as we stay below the 13.5 mark, no signs of any panic or fear. Another important point, silver has hit a fresh high, guys. So I think there was some reported outages. I think and there are some supply constraints as well as far as silver is concerned, and that has led to silver hitting a fresh high. So silver has hit a fresh high of $57.86 an ounce. So silver continues to move higher. I think around $54 is where the support for silver is placed. And even if you look at gold, so gold also is inching up higher steadily. So gold has made a high of $4,256 an ounce. So an important support is around 4,025, $4,050 an ounce here. And if gold continues, I think even it can move towards 4,380, 4,390 mark on the upside. So key things to watch out. So silver has hit a new high. The Indian 10-year yields are rising. That is keeping the pressure on equities. And also dollar is strengthening against the rupee here. I think these are the signs, little worrying signs for us at the current juncture. If you look at the FII positioning in the Indian market, so cash markets again on Friday, FIIs were net sellers. They sold around 3,795 crores. So we could see FIIs kind of, trying to buy more compared to what they have been buying earlier. But again, the last 2 days, they have sold around 5,050 crores. So the sentiment still hasn't changed much as far as the FIIs are concerned. The net index futures almost remain flat. So the long short ratio from 18.5 has just moved to 18.7. So no signs of short covering by the FIIs, which clearly says that it's only the DIIs and the retails who have kind of participated in this rally. And FIIs still are holding more shorts compared to longs. Again, the markets are keenly awaiting the India-US trade deal. We'll have to also look at the impact of the Japanese bond yields rising. So we could probably see an impact of the carry trade unwinding, plus the dollar strengthening against the rupee. So there are a lot of, headwinds that are present in the markets currently. If we look at the Nifty performance today, so Nifty, we opened with a gap up. I think Nifty failed to sustain above the 26,300, 26,310 mark. And it was kind of consolidating before it kind of broke the day's low and started moving down even lower. It has kind of filled the gap today, and it is kind of progressively moving down in a lower high formation. So the next support for Nifty is so this is where the next support is placed for Nifty. Nifty, I think the next support is placed around the 26,140 mark. So hopefully we should be looking for some reversal signs around the 26,140, because this is the same level where Nifty kind of saw buying interest on the 27th of November. So in case if we break below 26,140, then I think chances are that we might go lower, even below 26,000 on the downside. While on the upside, at least we need to cross the 26,210, 26,220 mark for any chances of an upside in Nifty. And if we look at the daily chart, so there is a sizable bearish candle that is being formed here. So there is definitely some hesitation for Nifty to move up higher. एक follow through move नहीं दिख रहा है, जो एक breakout हमें मिला था उसके बाद जो हमें एक फॉलो थ्रू मूव चाहिए था, आई थिंक दैट मूव इज लैकिंग in Nifty currently. So as long as on the upside, as long as 26,300, 26,320 is not taken out, any up move is ruled out. On an intraday basis, we need a move about 26,210, 26,220. On the downside, if we move below 26,140, then I think we can expect Nifty to move down lower towards 26,000 on the downside. If you look at Sensex, so pretty similar story in Sensex. So Sensex failed to hold above the 8600 mark. So we need a move above 86,100, 86,110. I think that can lead to Sensex moving up higher. Once it broke the day's low, it kind of filled the gap, and even Sensex is moving down lower. So for Sensex to have any chances of an up move, it needs to move above 85,700 on an intraday basis. As long as 85,700 is not taken out on the upside, any chance of an up move is ruled out. And I think the next important support for Sensex is at 85,450, 85,500. If we go below 85,500, I think then we can see a fall towards 85,300, followed by 85,000 on the downside. So for the up move to continue, 86,100. For intraday, we need above 85,700. The downside support is at 85,450, 85,500. Below that, I think Sensex can move down lower. So these are the key levels to watch. Even if you look at Bank Nifty, so Bank Nifty also, it was kind of holding on to the higher level steadily. But even Bank Nifty saw some profit booking, and even Bank Nifty has kind of filled the gap on the downside. So I think a most important support for Bank Nifty would be this level. It's at a key support points around 59,640, 59,650. That's a strong support zone for Bank Nifty. There have been multiple retests of this level where Bank Nifty has shown a bounce. And I think if it goes below 59,650, then I think we can expect Bank Nifty to move down towards 59,500. And in case if we go below 59,500, then I feel we can move down even further towards 59,000 as well on the downside. So on an intraday basis, we need Bank Nifty to move higher above 59,730, 59,750. So we could see some recovery happening above 59,730, 59,750. Major recovery, I think Bank Nifty again has hit a fresh high. So we need a move above 60,100, 60,120 for Bank Nifty to move up higher. While I think if we break below 59,500, then chances are that probably we can see 59,200, 59,000 on the downside. On the other hand, where the broader markets are, not doing well. So you can see Nifty is down around 0.13%, Sensex is down 0.14%, Bank Nifty is down 0.08%, mid cap is down 0.05%. So we were seeing that small cap index was the index that was underperforming, but today is the only index that is relatively outperforming the other indices today. But I think small cap index hasn't filled the gap yet, wherein you look at Bank Nifty, Nifty, Sensex, all these indices have filled the gap. So it's the small cap, that is probably the, you could say, the man of the match in terms of as far as the indices are concerned. So I think it's the small cap which is doing well in today's trade. If we look at the heat map again, ICICI Bank is up 0.22%, HDFC is down, Reliance is also in positive, it's 0.38% higher, Bharti Airtel is down, Infi is flat. So relatively no support from the top 4 or 5 heavyweights of index. In the private banking space, Kotak Bank is up 1.3%. Then in IT, it's HCL Tech, which is up around 1%. As far as oil and gas is concerned, we have ONGC that is up 0.43%. As far as auto is concerned, we have Eicher Motors, and then we have around this thing. Which stock is this? The Tata Motors passenger vehicles, which is up around 0.84%. BL is also up 0.84%. In the metal space, we have Hindalco, which is up 0.5%. Whereas if you see Adani Ports is up 1%. Whereas if you see most of the other stocks are in red or almost trading flat. There is no one sector, barring oil and gas, that you can say that is the only sector that is in green. Apart from that, majority of the sectors are in red. So if you look at the sectoral indices, uh, it's your metal space that is up 0.54%, followed by PSU banks that is up around 0.52%. But if you look at the sectoral losers, we have around realty index that is down, and even the healthcare index is down here. And in case if we look at the relative strength, which are the sectors that are moving in the last 1 month or so. So if we look at last 1 month's performance, so IT has, there is a comeback in the IT stocks that is up around 3.7%. So PSU banks have been doing well since quite some time. That is up around 7.7%. Even capital market stocks, guys. So capital market index has also given a fresh breakout. So chances are that even capital market stocks can relatively do well in the coming sessions. Whereas if you see the sectors that are underperforming, so realty is the worst performing sector in the last 1 month. That is down around 6%. India defense also, there is some pressure in the defense stocks, so that is up down 1.4%. CPSE is down around 3.6%. So these are the sectors that are down, whereas it's IT, PSU banks, capital markets, strong sectors. Realty, CPSE, India defense, metal, relatively weak sectors at the current level. Now, if you look at the key sectors and the key stocks to watch, like I said, guys, it's the capital market stock. So if you look at capital market by Nifty's ratio chart, the price is at a very key resistance level. And even if you look at the capital market index, that has given a fresh breakout. So any breakout above this level, so this indicates that, the price is so a rising line indicates that the sector is outperforming the benchmark index, that is your Nifty. So a couple of stocks from the capital market names. One is 361 WAM that has given a trend line, downward sloping trend line breakout. It is above the trend line here, so around 1060, 1155. That zone is likely to act as a strong support zone for 361 WAM, and I think it can move higher towards 1250, 1260 levels. RSI is in a rising mode. The MACD line is also above the zero line and the signal line with rising histogram bars. So around 1160, 1155 is likely support for 361 WAM. Apart from that, another stock from the capital market space is BSE. So BSE is also a strongest looking stock from the capital market space. So around 2785, 2800 is where the support is placed for BSE. So there is one small resistance in the 2950, 2960 mark. I think if BSE takes out 2960, then chances are that it can quickly move higher towards 3000, 3100 levels in the short term. Apart from that, even auto sector is showing some relative outperformance as compared to Nifty. So you could see that auto was relatively moving in tandem with Nifty because the ratio line was kind of flat. And we could see that the ratio line is kind of started to move higher. So one name from the auto space that you can keep a track of is TVS Motors. So TVS Motors, it kind of respected its 50-day EMA. It was moving in a tight range. And today there is a fresh breakout on the cards supported by rising volumes. RSI is also in a rising mode. The rising MACD histogram bar suggests that the bullish momentum is picking up. So on the upside, even TVS Motors can move towards 3730, 3735 with around 3520, 3525 acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, another sector that is outperforming, as we all know, it's Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty has kind of led the rally that we have seen in Nifty of late. So Bank Nifty, you can see the rising ratio line indicates that even Bank Nifty is kind of outperforming the Nifty. A large part of that Bank Nifty rally has come within the PSU space, but of late there are some private sector names also that has started to do well. One stock is Kotak Bank. So Kotak Bank also looks very strong. So it was kind of consolidating in that 2120 on the upside, 2060 on the downside, and it looks like it is kind of breaking out of the zone here. The RSI has moved up from almost 40 to about 60 now, which shows that the momentum is kind of strong on the upside. So there is a crossover in DI lines as well. The DI plus has crossed over DI minus, and we could see the MACD slope also pointing upwards. So all in all, 2110, 2120, that zone is a strong support zone for Kotak Bank. And any sustained move can lead to price moving higher towards 2200, 2250 levels in the short term. Apart from that, even ICICI Bank is positive. So ICICI Bank has seen a steady pullback from the lows of 1315. And from there on, we could see a pullback. Then again, it kind of consolidated in a range, and it's kind of hovering near the resistance now. So any sustained move above 1400 can lead to ICICI Bank moving higher towards 1440, 1450 levels, with around 1375, 1370 acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, one PSU name that is doing well is Bank of Baroda. तो अगर हम बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा की बात करें, Bank of Baroda was also consolidating in a range. It kind of held on to its 20-day EMA, and it saw a steady recovery. RSI is also above 60. The DI lines are widening, and MACD is about to give a crossover here. So if it sustains about 292, 294, then chances are that even Bank of Baroda can move higher, with around 285 acting as a strong support for the stock. Apart from that, Granules is one stock from the pharma space that can do well. So it has given a downward sloping trend line breakout. Uh, and it was kind of moving in a tight range in the last three trading sessions. On the 25th, it took strong support from the 100-day EMA, and thereon it has started to move higher. So if it continues, I think it can move towards 585, 590. An immediate support is placed around the 550, 555 zone for Granules. So even RSI is in a rising trajectory. DI plus has crossed over DI minus, and you could see shrinking MACD histogram bars, which suggests that the momentum is kind of shifting in the favor of bulls as compared to bears. And the last stock that I want to discuss is a new age company, which is Paytm. So Paytm, again, it took strong support from its. So there was a major trendline support for the stock. And if you see this kind of support here, so it took support from its 50-day EMA, and it saw a steady recovery. And now it trades above all the key moving averages, with around 1290, 1295 acting as a strong support for the stock. RSI is well above the 60 mark. The DI plus has crossed over DI minus, and MACD is almost on the verge of a crossover. So I think even Paytm can move towards the 1400, 1410 mark, with around 1290, 1300. That zone is likely to act as a strong support for the stock. So that was all about today's bid market session. If you have any queries, any doubts, do let me know in the chat box. So we'll open up the question and answer session now. And if you have any queries, do let me know, and I'll be happy to answer them. So Ashaji is asking for GPPL. Yeah, GPPL is good, Ashaji. Maybe wait for a breakout above this level. I think any move above 185 is likely to be positive. So the overall trend is positive, but I think above 185, it can move higher, with around 175 acting as a strong support for the stock. So we'll have the auto numbers. A lot of auto names will start coming up with their numbers. TVS Motors, Ashok Leyland, and TVS Motors looks absolutely positive as well. It's kind of moving up higher. The overall trend was positive. It was kind of trading flat, and I think post the numbers, it has gone up. Ashok Leyland kind of discounted this. So we could see that Ashok Leyland was in a nice uptrend since quite some time. So I think for Ashok Leyland, around 150, 152 is a strong support. And I think any move above 161, 162 can lead to price moving up even higher. So auto also, it's kind of gaining strength. I think even if you compare auto as compared to Nifty, relative to Nifty, we can see that auto is outperforming. VBL, VBL, there is definitely some recovery signs, but it as long it needs to go past this 200-day EMA. Why am I saying 200-day EMA is because you could see a year around April this year. Again, it took resistance. Then again, it took resistance around its 200-day EMA. Then again, there was a resistance here. Then again, here it took resistance from its 200-day EMA. So this 200-day EMA is acting as a strong resistance. So we need, I think, if we get a strong follow through above 495, 500, I think then we could expect some signs of reversal in VBL. Until then, very difficult to say if this is a reversal sign or not. I would still consider this as bearish. Probably once 495, 500 is taken out, then chances are that, we can see an up move. Hyundai again, good. It's just that this is a strong support zone for Hyundai. So you could see somewhere around this zone, 2000, 275, 2250. That's a strong support level for Hyundai. If it breaks, I think then we can see 2150. But it's gone out of the range here. So if you see for the last 6 trading sessions, it was moving in a tight range, and there is some recovery today. Looks like it might close above its 20 and 50 year. But I feel it can move towards 2465, 2470. Silver ETFs are at a high premium compared to silver price, similar to what we saw a couple of months back, where there was news saying that there is a mismatch, NAV mismatch. So I like we've been discussing, Ramwanji, it's better to keep doing SIPs for a long term in silver, because see, the overall trend is intact. Even gold has started to rise. So you can allocate at least like some part of your portfolio, maybe do a long term SIP in probably, you can maybe have some allocation to Nifty Bs, some allocation to silver Bs, and maybe some allocation to gold Bs here as well. Because see, these news will keep coming in. There will always be mismatch wherein ETFs are at the highs compared to the silver prices here. If you look at the underlying trend, it's positive. Though it went below its 20-day EMA, it never broke its 50-day EMA, and right now it has gone to the highs here. So I think an ideal strategy in silver would be to keep continuing SIP rather than looking to time it uh, and see it from a short-term perspective. Ideally, silver, gold, maybe even Nifty should be, seen from a long-term perspective there, because definitely, clearly the trend for gold and silver, is on the upside. Okay, TMPV, I think this is one stock, we're not sure. I think that overall trend looks weak only, Rakesh. I think if it goes below 350, then I think it can probably test its prior low, which is around 320, or up move. As long as 375, 380 is not taken out, I think any chances of recovery is ruled out. Despite all the auto names, some of the auto names doing well, still it's passenger vehicles. So this is one segment that is underperforming since quite some time now. The overall trend is weaker, Rakesh. I think if it breaks below 350, I think it can test its previous low of 320 here. If you have any other queries, any other questions, do let me know, guys. It's very difficult, Rammohanji, to time the markets here, whether it's any stock or silver or gold. So it's better to do SIPs in silver and gold for a long term. Lemon Tree Hotel. So this is I think vacation holiday season. So I think all these hospitality companies will see some sharp uptick, because usually Q3 is very good for the hotel companies here. So if you look at Lemon Tree is good. It is showing some steady bounce from its 200-day EMA. So I feel as long as 152, 154 is held on the downside, chances are that the price can move higher. It can move towards 170, 175 in the short term. But it's very important that it holds on to 150 to 155 on the downside. LG Electronics entry level, as of now, the movement has been quite choppy. I would say Wait until 1700 1710 is taken out. यहाँ पे हमने देखा कि 1700 के ऊपर सस्टेन नहीं कर पाया. So ideally मनोहर जी ये 1700 के ऊपर एक strong breakout चाहिए. Probably then maybe LG Electronics can be a good stock. Apart from that, studs accessories, again, no momentum in this counter here. The overall trend has been choppy. But on the downside, around 535 is a strong support. I think below 535 it can move down further, but we'll need to wait for some reversal signs. I think avoid studs for now. JSW Infra. Let me look at JSW Infra. Uh, I think, see, the overall trend is down, Rakesh ji, JSW Infra mein. I think one important support is at 260. That is where the previous reversal took place. So around 260 is where the important support is. I think below 260, it can go to 240. If it breaks 240, it can go down even to 220. So 240, 220 on the downside. These are important supports. No signs of reversal yet until now. Maybe we'll have to revisit this stock later, Rakesh ji. Your view on E2E networks. Vinay ji is asking E2E networks. The trend is bearish, Vinay ji. There is one support, I would say, somewhere in this zone. It's at its key support zone now, 2250. But if it breaks that, then I think it can probably fall towards 2000. So avoid E2E networks. I think up move, as long as 2600 is not taken out, any up move is ruled out. Parthasarathi ji, Ashoka Construction, 150 shares. Are you talking about Ashoka Buildcon or Ashoka Construction? Buildcon, right? Ashoka Buildcon, if I'm not wrong, Parthasarathi ji, if you can let me know. I don't know. Ashoka Construction, there is no such stock. So I believe you are talking about Ashoka Buildcon only. So I'll take Ashoka Buildcon. So you have got it at 255, or you have got it at a very high price. I think it's better to hold with an SL of, I think this is a very important support. So 170 is an important support, Parthasarathi. I think if it goes below this, it's better to exit. See, the trend is down. So unless and until you don't get a breakout above 190, I think chances of a pullback is ruled out. And it's not an FNO stock as well. So either if you are holding any positions in cash, probably we could hedge it by buying puts as well. So it's not an FNO stock. So it's better to hold with an SL of 170. Below 170, it's better to exit. Ganesh ji is asking for Vector Foods. You have got it at 1300. I think wait करना इसमें, because आई फील एक ट्रेंड लाइन है यहाँ पे. सो अगर मैं यहाँ पे इसको ऐसे ट्रेंड लाइन ड्रॉ करूँ, वेट फॉर अ ब्रेकआउट अबाउट दिस ट्रेंड लाइन, गणेश जी. वेट फॉर 1335 1350 के ऊपर मे बी यू कैन कंसिडर. एक स्ट्रॉन्ग ब्रेकआउट चाहिए ट्रेंड लाइन के ऊपर विथ राइजिंग RSI एज वेल. So I think once you get that, it's fine. Manoj is asking for Rico Auto. Rico Auto, it's good. I think there are definitely some good reversal signs here. Maybe around 105, 108 is where you can keep your SLB. Bank of Baroda is good, Rakesh ji. We discussed that. Bank of Baroda is definitely you can consider. Eternal, avoid. I think wait for some reversal signs about 315, 320, Manoj ji. I think if you're holding, then around 295 is likely to act as a support. Nika, again, you can probably consider once this level is taken out, 275, 276 on the upside, where around 255 is a strong support for the stock. Clear, guys. So I guess that's all from today's mid-market session. I hope it was informative. And my colleague Gautam will be doing a webinar today at 4 o'clock. So you can probably attend that session. Tomorrow again we'll meet at 12:30 for the mid market, and tomorrow again at 4 o'clock I'll be doing a strategy webinar. So we'll be discussing about ladder spreads in tomorrow's session at 4 o'clock. I'll be conducting that session, and look forward to your presence, guys. So I think Bank of Baroda, you keep on trailing the SL. I think it can move towards 310, 315 levels in the short term. I think you can keep your SL at 285 and keep uh, trailing your SL rather than having a fixed target. Okay, bye guys. Take care. See you at 4 o'clock today. And again, I'll meet you at 12:30 tomorrow for the mid market session. Bye guys. Take care and stay safe. Take care, guys.